Hello and good morning, sixth graders. This is Mr. Shear, and today we're working on Chapter 2, Lesson 1. And the goal for today is to get you to be able to write decimals as fractions and fractions as decimals. Just a quick reminder, Chapter 2 has 4 lessons on decimals. So we're on Chapter 2, Lesson 1. It's got a lot of supplemental stuff as well that we won't be doing from the book, but we're working on decimals and we're doing the first lesson out of 4 from the book. So this lesson focuses on 2 things. The first is how to write a decimal as a fraction. So 0.4 equals 2/5, or 4/10 is 2/5. The second thing is how to write a fraction as a decimal. 5/8 is 625 thousandths. So we're going from decimals to fractions, and from fractions to decimals. I can't say it enough, calculator is heavily recommended today. And I'm going to talk about that more in a little bit, but you do want to use a calculator for today's lesson. So first we're going to do a decimal as a fraction. So the questions in the book will say something like, write each decimal as a fraction in simplest form, which means reduced. So we have a decimal, and if you know your decimal place value, you'll know this is 6/10. So you put it over the place value of the decimal. So in this case, 6/10 goes 6 over 10. You now have it as a fraction. That's it. The only thing is you do have to reduce it. So just as a reminder, greatest common factor of 6 and 10 is 2. So I divide the top and the bottom by 2 and I get 3/5. That's it. Let's do another one. Or this is putting it another way. You put the decimal over its place value, you reduce. That's it. So let's try another one. 0.45, which you might know is 45 hundredths. So I go 45 over 100. This reduces by 5. And it gives me 9/20. So 0.45 as a fraction is 9/20. 0.375, which you might know is 375 thousandths. To reduce, I want to remind you to use a calculator. And you're going to get an answer of 3/8. Now, if you don't know how to reduce on your calculator, I'd like to show you something. Here I am in our Google Classroom. And I'm going to go to the classwork tab. I'm going to scroll down past all your assignments. Look at all that work we've done. And I'm going to go to websites and resources. I've actually put 2 of them in here, but there's fraction calculators. So if you click on that, it's going to take you to a link that's going to take you to this fraction calculator. And if I want to put a fraction in and reduce it, this will let you add them, mix fractions, or subtract them. But this is to simplify fractions. So this is if you don't have a calculator that can do this for you at home. And you go 375 over 1,000. Calculate. And it'll tell you right up here, 3/8. And the greatest common factor was 125. But it'll convert it back for you. Or it will convert it for you. So again, if you're somebody who struggles to reduce fractions, use the online fraction calculator, or you can use your own calculator if you have one. All right, the other way we're going to go now is fractions into decimals. So the directions will say something like, write 9/12 as a decimal. This one's not too bad. It's top, so the smaller number divided by bottom. And what you'll notice is because the top number, the numerator, is usually smaller than the bottom number, the denominator, you end up having to break it up into pieces. 12 goes into 90, 7 times, it gives me 84, remainder 6, drop down to 0, 12 goes into 65 times, my decimal is 0.75. Totally do this on a calculator. What I want you to know today is that it's top divided by bottom. And I want you to be able to see right here that it breaks it up into a decimal because it's a part of a number. It's less than 1, so it's a part of a number. But for your math assignment, it's just top divided by bottom. Use the calculator. And you'll get the answer of 7/500. So 14 over 25, it's going to be top 14 divided by 25. Use the calculator, and you'll get 56/100. 102 over 250, top divided by bottom. Use that calculator. 408 thousandths. Top divided by bottom converts a fraction into a decimal. Last thing, what if you have a mixed number, like a whole number and a fraction, or a whole number and a decimal? It's the same process. You basically just leave the whole number alone to put it with your answer. So I have 3 1/5. I'm just going to focus on the 1/5. And again, it's 1 divided by 5. Use the calculator. It gives me 0.2, so my answer is 3.2, or 3 2/10. Again, if you just notice, all I did was leave the 3 alone. It's just going to be part of my answer. And I did 1 divided by 5. Gave me this. All right. What if I have a decimal and I want to go into a fraction? Same thing. Just put the the decimal over its place value. So 75 over 100. Then you reduce it. You can use a calculator for that. And it reduces to 3/4. So your answer is 2 3/4. Big thing with this is you just leave the whole numbers alone and include them as part of your answer. That's it. It's a book assignment today. It's pages 93 and 95 from your textbook. Looks like this. As always, put your answers on an answer key. Thank you, 6th graders, for watching. Feel free to email with questions. I'll see you at the meet. Have a great day.